Well, hours after Washington slapped more sanctions on Israeli settler violence in the West Bank, there is something similar brewing in Europe. And the bloc's Vice President Josep Borrell finds himself in the spotlight. And this also follows the latest incident of killing of at least 9 Palestinians in West Bank on Wednesday and another 5 on Thursday. Israel claims it was carrying out anti-terror operations. But why is Borrell in the spotlight? Well, in the statement issued earlier today, Borrell had urged the bloc's 27 member states to back sanctions on Israeli ministers who have in the past been accused of inciting hatred towards Palestinians.
But certainly I initiated the procedures in order to ask the member states if they consider appropriate, including in our list of sanctions, some Israeli ministers has been launching hate messages, unacceptable hate messages against the Palestinians and proposing things that goes clearly against international law and is an incitation to commit war crimes.
Borrell further went on to allege that the concerned Israeli ministers acted clearly against international law and incited people to commit war crimes. He was speaking at the ongoing informal foreign ministers meeting in the Belgian capital. However, Borrell's proposal has little or no chance of being accepted. This, as member states like Hungary, Austria and the Czech Republic have been staunchly defending Israel's right to self-defense. It's not only the US and the European Commission who have been forced to impose sanctions on Israeli settlers over the West Bank violence. UK, France, Japan and Canada have also imposed similar limited sanctions on a number of settlers. However, this is the first instance of proposed sanctions against Israeli politicians and government entities arming and mobilizing them. And for more on this, we earlier spoke to Chris Dole, Director of Kabu and the current lead spokesperson as well.
The situation in the West Bank is terrifying. Of course, it comes against the backdrop of nearly 11 months of utter horror within Gaza itself, where you've seen 90% of the Palestinian population in that enclave having been forcibly displaced and well over 40,000 killed, and the outbreaks of diseases such as polio that had been eradicated. But in the West Bank, what we're seeing is now a further escalation with what is the largest Israeli military invasion of the occupied West Bank since 2002, at the height of the Second Intifada. And it involves a huge force deployment into a number of key Palestinian cities and refugee camps, including actually putting a hospital in Jenin under siege. And many Palestinians fear that what has been happening in Gaza, where we've seen so much of the civilian infrastructure, whether it's hospitals, schools, universities, mosques, churches, being destroyed, that this is actually what will happen further down the line.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.